Yes, Lord.
Yo, how does it feel looking back at that 10 years later?
I mean, you know, just seeing my mom, that's the first time I heard her voice in a long time.
Yeah.
So to me, that was just, you know, that was dope, man. Just looking at the hustle, man, and seeing, you know, how far we come.
It brought out a lot of memories just looking at that period, you know. It's just kind of amazing to have captured that period, just looking at Moses' music in that era of when hip-hop and black-owned record stores was vital.
Going back to the hustle that you fellas had at that time, seeing you in the studio with JT and with Beat It, like just, you know, having that idea of where you wanted to go, but not seeing it. You know what I mean? You hadn't been out on the road yet. You hadn't been out really like doing it at that time. Like looking at that, what was your mindset at that time? Like just trying to get out and being hungry.
Even just having Kevin Epps, man, come to us at the time and say, yo, I'm doing a documentary, I want you to be involved. You know, it was kind of like, yo, why me? Like, you know, what stands out to me to make you feel like you want to put me inside your movie? And this was following up a documentary that he did called Straight Outta Hunters Point, which was a world-renowned, award-winning documentary that he had put out. And I was honored to be a part of it, man. And like you said, the dream was so green then, but the years of continuing to work, no pun, but it's just like, you know, like you see, man, in the video, you see all the rap books, and you see the grind, the dedication that it was just always there, man. And to me, it's the same story. It's still that same grind. It's still that same hustle. It's still that same hunger. And man, this is just confirmation that I've been on the right track, and I'll continue to stay on this right track, staying focused and dedicated.
Hectic, just with your motivation at the time for making music and for being a part of the industry, do you feel like the motivation that you had maybe is the same one that a lot of these young cats have right now? Do you feel like you had a different idea of where you wanted to go?
It's like I had my eyes on the prize, and I knew what I wanted to do, and I had a plan. But what I didn't have was all around perspective. I couldn't see everything. And with everything that I was going through at the time, with all my friends killing each other, and my brother facing double life and death penalty cases, and everything that was happening from Straight Outta Hunters Point, I was angry. So when I look back at Rap Dreams, I know that my focus was to do something, not just for me, but for my community and for my people, for all of us. So it was just like, man, what can I do? What can I contribute? So my hustle today is the same, like what Fab is saying. It's like, it's the same thing. It's like, I don't want to give up. I don't want to stop. I think about how can I contribute? Because at one time, I wanted to quit. But I wanted to quit while I was locked up facing like 27 years. I had did 2 years in the county down there, going to prison for 5 years, almost 6 years. So I did a total of 7 years, 8 months. So while I was in there, it was a point where it was just like, man, fuck rap this, rap that. And it's just like, I love it, but don't nobody want to hear the truth. Don't nobody want to speak on that level like Pac. It's just a whole list of other artists that really inspired me. So it was just like, damn, what can I do? How can I contribute? So somehow I came out that funk and was like, you know what? I know what I can do. I'm not gonna quit, but I'm gonna invest in another way where it's like I'm not giving up. I'm here, and I'm here to stay.
Some people definitely had a bit of a chuckle when Kev's grandfather was sitting there, you know, and was like, man, that boy can't do, you know what I mean? And other people, I think it kind of resounded with us in a different way, because, you know, I definitely had folks, you know, with trying to do radio or even being a DJ, whatever the case was that I do now. Like, I had a lot of folks who were like, man, like, you got to get a real job. Like, you can't be out here trying to do X, Y, and Z. Like,
no matter what you do in life, there will always be naysayers. There will always be someone who has a negative approach at life. and they want to spread their philosophy and ideology to the rest of the world. Some people that wasn't able to take full advantage of their opportunities and their dreams, they want to put a capsule on yours. So you have to understand that, and that's no matter what you do in life, there will always be those people that didn't get a chance to fulfill their dreams. As you see in the video, when it goes back to the grandfather saying, I had to give up on my music dream because I had 3 children, you know, so the possibility of someone else doing it to him may have been stoned, just based off the fact that he had other things to do with his dreams. But, you know, that was what it was. You focus on your support system.
Yeah.
And if there is a support system, if there is a lack of one, be your biggest fan. You know, but if there is a support system, gather the energy and let that cultivate you to continue to keep moving forward. Negativity always gets a response from you. Quick little example. Earlier, this girl walked by. I say, damn, you smell hella good. She just keep walking on her phone. I say, then if I would have said, yo, pussy stank, you would have said something. And she looked back. I say, see how that is? But that's just what life is about, man. We only respond to negativity, but we have to focus on our support systems, man. And fortunately enough, I had a mother who was very supportive in anything that I did, and that was my best friend. And I always believed in me. So that's what continues to keep me going to this day. I am my own support system. I'm my biggest fan. You got to be your biggest fan.
I kind of want to add to that. I think Charlie Walker in that film, for me, as I look back in retrospect, was very important to, I guess I could say, reality support.
Right.
Val said, you know, another way of support, but I think there should be a window of opportunity. I think there's, like, you have to give yourself a window of opportunity, especially when I look at the issues that we're dealing with in the black community and around the black men. I think because of his experience of working blue collar and really being like a real responsible father and grandfather, he had that reality experience where, you know, okay, that's my grandson, he can do that, but that needs to be secondary. That
Right.
don't need to be all these eggs in the basket where everybody got these rap dreams. That's not reality, man. And that's really costing and being detrimental to the real movement that needs to happen.
And
some
he was
people,
balling though. Like that video don't really show, but
Charlie
yeah,
Walker.
Granddaddy was balling. Like you feel
Oh, that's actually him right
he
there?
walked in right here.
Look. Walker balling, man. Construction companies and everything, man. Real black business.
Hey, but he started off with a shovel though, in them trenches,
For
like,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of interesting because I have had rappers come to me and say, man, I was moved by what that project, bro. I'm like 35, I've been rapping, I need to, you know, what he said kind of was fucking with me.
Right.
I had people really come and say, yo, man, that was kind of was like, I helped them get a self-check. Like, what am I doing being a 35-year-old dude? You know what I'm saying? I got 3 kids and I'm out here sagging, running to these rap shows, yo. I take care of my kids, so I kind of got a different perspective from that too now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is kind of like time to step it up. Like, I can't really, like, it's critical, you know what I'm saying? And I'm at a juxtaposed position because I know rap means so much to my people and it's a soundtrack to our life. But then we got some real practical things we need to get to. And I think Mr. Walker, Charlie Walker, brought that. So, you know what I'm saying? I think you can add something to it if you got to while you're here. Thanks for coming, G. Let's get this G a hand.
Give it up, Mr. Walker. Do you feel the same way that you expressed kind of in that film at the time? You know, in regards to, you know, just saying like, you know, there's a certain time to do a certain thing, and then after that time, you know, maybe it's time to hang it up or just take care of your responsibilities more so than you are chasing a dream.
No, let me explain. I was with last night a writer, and one of the things we have to know, I was just one day, I was with Frank Sinatra in New York, and I heard him tell another guy, he said, you know, if you can write something that might change the life of another person, you should put it in writing. And I realized the problem that our people have just making a living. And I wrote a book called America is Still a Place. And when I was, I knew this, I knew a lot of people, friends. So I met this guy, and we grew, more or less grew up together. He got to be a millionaire, and I didn't. And I saw him one day, and I said, look, Bill, how you like my book? He said, you know, Charlie, that should be a movie. I said, I ain't got that kind of money. He said, how much you think it's going to cost? I said, about $3 million. He said, you want cash or a check? That's how I got in the movie business. Just that simple. I didn't do nothing special. If you got somebody being killed in your movie, I don't want no part of it. My movie became #1 in New York, #1 in Los Angeles, at all of the film festivals, #1 in San Francisco, #1 in Austin, Texas, and #1 in Berlin, and didn't nobody get killed. I mean, my picture has become #1, and now I'm having trouble with distributing. This is terrible. This is an epidemic. Y'all got to understand it. You can't go to them movies that you see a young guy with a pistol, he kills somebody, he go kill somebody. And then when the kids go home from the movie, they get a real gun and say, he dead too. Well, he ain't coming back. That is my only message in my book. That is my only message in the movie. I want us to take a grip on the fact that we got to quit producing movies that say it's all right to kill you.
Where hip hop is today, and from each of you guys, if you know, if a kid comes up to you and is like, yo, like I want to be an MC, and that, you know, this is anybody from, you know, 5 to 25.
I'll be the first one. Hip hop is a Fab prototype. And why I say a young Fab prototype, because Fab took rap and expounded it to community empowerment through programs and really doing what hip hop was designed to do. So it's true, because and that was something I was drawn to from his spirit early on, because I seen that family and that love through his mom, and that I see now extending to his community and being able to like help these young people. So that's really hip hop. All that other stuff is fluff, man. Hip hop is about community empowerment and uplifting your people. Like, and so him doing that is hip hop to me. And that's the prototype of hip hop artist that I would like to see more of. And I think that would be a revolutionary change for our community.
Man, I'm like I say, man, to this day I still have the utmost respect for you, not just as a film director, but as a man, man. I've watched you on the front line of community issues. Straight Outta Hunters Point was very risky. When you filmed that documentary, even till this day, it was people who felt like, well, you know, if he wouldn't have filmed this, we'd be this and he'd be that. You took a real chance to highlight something that was very significant in community issues of what was going on. Me being from across the water, I never really realized how sick the city was till I saw that. You know, I was like, man, it's serious. You know, I got a chance to read up on legendary icons like James Beasley and the Boovies and, you know, some of these other guys that, you know, the Big A's and these guys that were very infamous.
Ronnie Newt.
You know, Ronnie Newt and several other people. Saying all that to say, man, I just want to say I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful for that, to appreciate you, you know what I'm saying? I tell you this off the mic, you know, it's easy to give someone credit in private, you know, but in public I want to let that be known. To answer your question, man, I think hip-hop today needs to be more, people need to be held more accountable to not only their lyrics, but to their lifestyle. There's a lifestyle that is being a deceiving perception that a lot of these artists are putting out there, and it's only for the compensation of capitalizing off an image. You know, they'd rather push an image than actually a real lifestyle. And the image that they're pushing is most of the times, pretty good percentage, a false image. because they're not actually living or doing the things that they rap about in their music. And I think that they need to be held accountable and responsible for some of the things that they saying, because a lot of these kids, like Mr. Walker was saying, a lot of these kids don't have the intellect to differentiate what's real and what's fiction in music. And when you have a rapper talking about, yeah, get money, I'm doing this, do this, and you like, dude, you just told this kid to do all of this stuff, and I can't say anything because I've been guilty of it before. But in my consciousness comes with my growth. And my growth, I have to be responsible. So the music that I'm making now is more responsible, and it comes with growth. I can't condemn anyone that has done anything that I've ever been guilty of doing, because then I would become a hypocrite. But what I can do is hope that along this path that this person is taking, that there will be some moment in their life that they realize the unfolding of their doing, and begin to fold it back up and to deliver it differently to these children, and be more mindful that you have to be able to say, look, this is just rap. This is not my lifestyle. And show them a life. If you glorifying the negatives. I love to see what a lot of artists are doing and utilizing their influence and pushing their agenda. And I can only hope that more will continue to do so, to utilize this platform to help people, to save lives. If there is something that you can put inside of your music that can inoculate a message that will spark the thought that changes and revolutionizes life, then continue to be a writer and continue to transcribe what the future and tomorrow should bring. But it starts with being honest with yourself. Now, if it's testimonial rap, who are we to say what's wrong or what's right? Because that's what a person has lived through, and that's what they've gone through, and they're only telling their life. But if it's life just to get money, what is a man to have the world if he loses his soul in action?
To me, it's not hard at all, man. It's all about making decisions at the end of the day. It comes down to decision making, man. And it was at one point when Kevin dropped Straight Outta Hunters Point. I remember when he first thought about the project, and he came up to me, he said, "Look, bro, man, thinking about shooting a movie called Straight Outta Hunters Point, man, talking about Big Block and West Point." I said, "For real? Shit, sure, why not? Let's do it, right? I'm from West Point, it's all good." But this is the thing, though. I remember I said, this is an opportunity for the world to know what's really going on in San Francisco. So to some degree, I knew I didn't want to glorify the violence that was happening in my community, but I wanted the world to know what was going on in my community. When I think about the Bay Area, I think about Oakland. But I noticed everybody from Oakland has done something good as far as the music career goes, right? Anyone in the industry. And I've always been proud of that. Oakland really represent. And when I thought about San Francisco, I said, damn, Frisco ain't really just been on a map like that. And I wanted that to be known, being young and want to rap. And not being looked at as, oh, Frisco is gay, Frisco like that. So it was like, I took that personal. So I wanted the world to know that if you come to San Francisco, shit can happen to you real bad. So part of me wanted Straight Outta Hunters Point for that reason. But I also knew that it could be detrimental to people being exposed to this. So I remember I had a kid come up to me, one of my partners, Frank Nitty, in the movie. He's dead. He's not in this movie, but Straight Outta Hunters Point. And his little cousin came up to me singing one of my songs, and it was called Thug Shit, and it was extremely violent. And that was the moment where I said, you know what? I don't want to rap like this no more. I was like, nah, I'm cool. This shit ain't. I don't want 12-year-olds come up to me talking about, oh, heck, man, what you said, that was tight. That shit wasn't tight. That shit was crazy. I was influencing kids to do crazy shit, even though I was talking about my life and I was talking about my experience. But that's the last thing I wanted to do was influence a kid to even feel like that was okay in any way, form, or fashion, whether I was talking about protecting myself or not. Unfortunately, America was founded on violence and corruption, right? So it's something that needs to be eradicated in our society, especially in the black communities, because all that's happening is self-imposed genocide. And I don't want to perpetuate that in no way, form, or fashion. However, I do want to make a living. So at some point before I went to prison, I knew that I was in some type of moral crisis, because I knew that what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. If you add a D to evil, you get devil. If you take a O from good, you get God. So when I look at things like that, man, I just want to continue to do my part and be conscious. Like, opportunity presented itself for me to do this film, and I heard I was doing it with Fab. That was an honor too, to even be a part of this. So, you know, to me it was important to put myself here in a situation and say, you know what, let's go, man. You know, I'm proud of Fab and his accomplishments. You know, but I'm proud of me too, because I accomplished many things. I'm proud of all of us because we still here. But we need to be held accountable. We need to be start taking responsibility for all our actions. When I see people out there, you know, terrorizing their own community because they get shot, blacks get shot down in the street, that shit ain't cool. Find another way to channel that energy into something else, because rap is a platform to express yourself. You know, anger, you know, joy, pain, whatever it is. But I gotta be responsible for my lyrics. In fact, thank you too, bro, for everything, man. And it's all love, dudes. You already know, man. You know.
All right. Thank you guys for coming to Rap Dreams tonight. We appreciate you for being in the building. We're gonna.
What's up, Lil One?
You got it. It's on you.
Man, shout out to you, babe.
Come on, man.
Introduce yourself to us, man. Introduce yourself to the world, man.
Yellow Boy.
Right.
Dog Water, Yellow Vision.
Right.
Kane Street. With my boy Key the Black, rest in peace. Call me every day, Kane Street.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Let's speak on Key the Black.
Wow, how does it feel to be an original Groundhog member and an original Killer Squad member? Man, I got to watch both of them do it from the ground, you know, from the seed, from trying to get a seed.